Aquaba. Welcome to Expat Life Ghana. I'm Tony. This is my wife Ayo. We're documenting our move from Texas to Ghana as we go beyond the return.
And in this video, we're talking all about getting pulled over. Let's get this video started. That's right, you heard me. Somebody got pulled over.
I didn't get pulled over.
Wait, what?
They motioned me to pull over.
Okay, so wait. So for those of you who have not been to Ghana before, you get pulled over by the police, and the police are not in a car, they're not on a motorcycle, they're not on a horse or a bicycle. They're standing in a tent on the side of the road or under a tree, and they point at you and they wave you off the road.
Yes, and that has happened a couple of times now.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but yeah, more than once this has now happened.
Okay, so the first time it happened, I actually did something I should not have done. I made a right turn against the light.
Why would you do that?
Because the plumber that was sitting next to me, I asked him, hey, can I turn on this red light? He says, yeah, people do it all the time. Just make sure you yield to the people.
There are people out there moaning at you right now. They're like, no, you don't turn. No, you don't turn.
No, you don't turn. So as soon as I turned the corner, I got waved down by two very nice police women. And they gave me the business.
They gave you the business.
They gave me the business. I knew it was an infraction because they laid the law to me. Hey, you can't do it. This is not an intersection where you can turn against on the red. So
you're saying it. So he's saying it so nicely. He's saying it so nicely.
Yeah, I was a little intimidated by them to start. Let's see. It was a 800 CD ticket.
Wait, what did the plumber? The plumber was like, oh, totally.
No, initially, she was asking me, hey, where, how long you been here? Let me see your license. And I thought, let me give her my American license and, she'll give me a break or something. But my Ghanaian license was on top and she said, give me that. And so I had to give her my Ghanaian license and she saw that I got it last year. And she's like, you've been here a year driving and you don't know this? And I was like, no, as soon as I got my license, I left and I'm just coming back. So I was just trying to, get out of the ticket. And again, she was, oh, if you're going to drive, you should know this. Yes, if you're going to drive here, you should know the laws. My fault. I was in the wrong. So she was telling me about the cost of it, and that's when I said, well, oh no, the plumber that I was with, he's finally stepped up and said, I'm sorry, ma'am. I told them he could do it. I told him. And she said, oh, are you going to pay half of his ticket?
You got quiet quick, didn't you?
Yeah, then he closed his mouth back really fast. So he's like, no, ma'am, no. So the jail or the police office was right across the street from where we got pulled over. And she threatened.
You got flagged over.
Yeah, well, I got flagged over. Yeah, she threatened a couple times. She was going to give me a ticket. Why shouldn't she give me a ticket? And do I have all this money to pay for tickets since I'm breaking the law? And I was doing my best to talk her out of it. And she finally asked me. She said, "So, if you were in the United States, what would they do?" I said, "Oh wow, that's a good question. I probably would have got beaten up by now." Let's see. I would have been pleading for my life.
You didn't say that to her. Did you really say that?
No, I was like, yeah. She asked me, what would happen, so I had to tell her. And then I said, but if it was a nice police officer, they would give me a warning and just tell me, hey, don't do that again,
Did that work?
This is what happened. She said, well, I'm going to give you a break. My birthday is tomorrow. I want you to bring me a pizza for my birthday. So
Are
that's
you
been
gonna
like
bring her a pizza?
I pass by her all the time, and I have a very distinct vehicle. I thought I was getting an incognito vehicle, but it sticks out just a little bit. So
Every time we have to go past this station. At first, you were taking the alternate way
yeah,
around.
I was driving around so I wouldn't go past this intersection because I didn't bring her a pizza, and I'm like, she's going to see me again and flag me over and take me to jail.
Now, every time we go past, there's a light right there, so you're like, please don't let the turn red, please don't let the... And then inevitably, the light will turn red.
And I'm sitting at the intersection and she's over there and I'm like, oh, please don't come over here and bother me, please.
Are you going to bring her a pizza?
I think I will because she was nice. She could have given me a ticket, but she didn't. And I told her, I said, hey, I'll bring you a ticket. I would have said anything, get out of here, 800 C's.
Okay, so now I do have to kind of come back, right, for a serious moment. How did you feel getting pulled over here versus the last kind of momentous time you got pulled over in the States? And wait, to just recap it, the last time Tony got pulled over for driving while not breaking any major traffic laws, is that fair enough to say?
Yes.
He was in a more affluent area doing some contracting work and driving his work vehicle, which is branded and everything else, with insurance and up-to-date plates and non-expired driver's license and no warrants and whatever other reason you could possibly manufacture that a cop would have to pull you over. And you got pulled over.
For no
reason. And the police officer very rudely stated that you were going to give him your license and registration and not ask why you were getting pulled over.
Yeah.
And so the long and short of that one is, after a little bit of back and forth, the police officer basically said, we can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way. And Tony decided that he should be entitled to his right to know why he is getting pulled over by a police officer who is pulling you over. And as a former police officer who knows the procedure to which one is supposed to be pulled over.
Right.
And was taken out of the vehicle, handcuffed, and put into the back of a squad car.
Yeah. Totally different.
Yeah. So this experience versus the last experience.
Wow. I wasn't in fear for my life, which anytime you see the red and blues behind you in the States, that's something that, you kind of have in your mind, is this going to be one of those situations? I had no fear of my physical harm with the police officer here. It could have been a male police officer, and I wouldn't have had that fear.
The only fear was for your pocketbook.
Yeah.
I have to say, as the person on the partner, right?
Right.
The phone call that you called me after you got pulled over in the States, and it was traumatic. Yeah. And you called me after you got pulled over here in Ghana, and it was more funny than anything. Yeah. And not to make light of the police here, but that it was only about the infraction. Right. It wasn't about you being black. It wasn't about you driving a car that you shouldn't be driving. It wasn't about you being in a neighborhood where you shouldn't be. Yeah. It was like you turned and you shouldn't have turned.
Yeah, and that's what the stop was about.
And that was it. Yeah. I can't stress enough for people who have had a similar experience as you getting pulled over in the States and know that feeling of fear, that feeling of worry, or if you're the spouse or significant other or parent or child of someone who has had that same experience, worrying that they might not get home because of that. Yeah. None of that here.
Yeah, you shouldn't have that fear, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so happy to be here, is that I don't look in the rearview mirror looking for, police officers, trailing me. So.
Yeah. And if they are, they're probably doing it for the right reason.
Guess the guy didn't bring me the pizza.
Hi, I'm Leo. Subscribe right now.
So now we have to talk about the second part of this. Did she really want a pizza?
Yeah, I think she did.
You think it was really about a pizza? Or was that code for, hey, can you...
Well, she was. I wasn't going to dash her either way.
Dash is code for tip or bribe here in Ghana.
Yeah, she was not going to get anything. But the ticket cost $800, so if she would have said 50 CDs would have gotten me free to leave, I would have paid the 50. 50's different
Don't
than 800.
say that. If you're the officer, do not.
Yeah. Don't pull me over now.
But there is that, right? Like, there is this little piece. You know, we talk about, and people have had conversations about, it's very bribery based in Africa and in Ghana, and that you have to just get used to bribing people. And there are people who use code language like, will you buy me pizza?
It's my birthday. It's my birthday. You should buy me pizza tomorrow.
Yes. You will find if you're traveling on some of the major roads, you might get flagged over. And as the officer is talking to you, they might say a couple times that they're thirsty.
And thirsty is code for, I need some money.
How many times did you offer cops water when they said they were thirsty?
Yeah.
Last year?
Yeah, that was last year going to Cape Coast at the checkpoints, and we got pulled over in this one.
It's not the same as, it's like you're going through a checkpoint, so you're getting flagged to the side to be checked. So
everybody,
it's not like getting
everybody just about at the checkpoints get stopped and they're looked over. If they see something they want to talk about, they'll flag you over and stop. Yeah. And at that one, it was more, he kept saying that, I'm thirsty, he didn't bring me any water. And water was like, you didn't bring me any money? You passing by my checkpoint, what do you have for me?
You kept offering them, you had water in the back.
And we had water, I got water in the back. Oh, okay. No, sir, not this water. And then the Uber driver I was with, he was like, stop saying that. And he's like, water means money. He's looking for money. I was like, okay, let me be quiet because I don't want him to think I really have water for him, because that wasn't happening. So that was about 10 minutes of confusion of me thinking he was thirsty looking for water.
But if you're driving from Accra to Cape Coast or driving any distance out of Accra, bring a cooler full of water just so that when someone asks, you can give them a back of water.
I got some water for you.
It just is amusing. That's the only reason why. Yeah. So there is a little bit of this like bribery subculture that still exists. I don't want you to think that that is not a thing. Right. And you may find that if you appear very Obroni, if you appear as a foreigner or as an expat, you may find you are getting pulled over or flagged over more frequently.
Okay. Yeah.
So what's your take? Do you give the pizza or do you not give the pizza?
Yeah, in that situation, because I knew I did something wrong, it would have been wrong for me to, pay. It was just, I knew I did something wrong, so if she was going to give me a ticket, I would have accepted it. However, the amount of the ticket, I was not ready to pay, so if I could have paid a lesser amount in some way, I know I'm, contributing to the system of corruption and, giving her, a couple.
She totally would have done it.
Yeah. But I did something wrong, and this was a break for me, and she did something wrong and trying to solicit something from me. So it's kind of like,
Some people are really turned off by this. And you, at that same day that this all happened, or the next day, you met a couple of people out at a local restaurant and you told them this story.
Right.
And there was kind of two takes on it, right?
Yeah.
One said, you should bring the pizza and be very nice to this woman and take her number.
Yes, that's a new connection that I could make.
Right. And if something happens with a less personable police officer, you have someone you can call to speak to the officer, someone who will be your friend out there in the system for the cost of a pizza. Or if something happens and you need help, you've got the number of someone that you can call for the cost of a pizza.
Right.
So there's that side of it.
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
And you want to ride that line really, really fine and pay attention to it, because one could lead to further stops of, hey, that dude getting money.
Pizzas. Yeah.
To that dude, when he got stopped, he was real nice. He knew what he did wrong, and it was easy going.
Yeah. So a couple of different ways that you can approach getting pulled over.
Okay.
But the most important thing is you don't have to panic.
Yes.
There's no panic.
Don't panic.
So there was a second.
So
pullover.
yeah, so somebody was with me, and I think that's why I got stopped.
Like I
Very,
said, if you're
very
an Ombroni-
different situation. We were driving down the street, not doing anything wrong, and immediately we got flagged to be pulled over. And at this point, I was like, we did nothing wrong. We got a problem. He better not ask me for money. And the look on my face was, you
It's
got a
serious.
problem. Yeah, you got a problem with me.
And the look on my face was,
And I rolled the window down with the, yeah, let's hurry up and get this over with. Don't ask me for anything. And the officer took one look at me and kind of read the situation confusingly and was like, okay, boss, I see you have a lot of things to do. Go ahead with your day.
now you didn't speak before
Yeah.
he said all that. So what's interesting here is that Tony, of the two of us, people always think that you're the Ghanaian.
Yeah.
And that until you talk,
Right,
they don't really know otherwise.
right.
And so not only your approach to these two officers was completely different. I feel like you were very humble to the first one and apologetic, and to this one you were like, now wait a minute.
Yes,
No.
yes.
And he did. The window rolled down. He looked at you. He said, I think he said, sorry, general, or sorry, boss, or something.
Yeah, he said, sorry, boss.
and kind of sent you on your way. So now you had another conversation with a local after this encounter.
Yes.
And the recommendations were a lot different. It wasn't bring him a pizza and dash him and get
Right.
his number. It was,
He didn't, yeah. Again, the vehicle I drive, I thought it was very low key,
it's not.
and it's not. So the vehicle threw him off. When I'm driving, I wear aviators, so the glasses threw him off, and just looking at me and looking at the tone that I was carrying, he really didn't know who I was. He may have thought
Yeah.
I was military, and he didn't want to find out if I was or not.
Right.
So
It was very
He was-
interesting to see him kind of apologetically be like, "Oh no, you look like you're busy. Just go."
yeah,
But after a conversation with a local, it kind of was taken two ways. You should present as annoyed at first. This was the recommendation, right?
Right.
Like at first, you want to kind of present like the person who is pulling you over or flagging you down does not have the right to do so,
Yes.
and that you are irritated
right.
that they have done something that they should not do. But then you have to be very aware of the officer's response.
Right, because you still have to respect that badge. And I was going to challenge him up until the point where his authority of being a police officer overruled me. And I was going to push as long as I knew there was something to be pushed. And I think he didn't know, who was pushing, so he didn't want to challenge me, which was really weird. And I left that traffic stop thinking, wow, that was really different.
It was very different.
Yeah. So we were told that he couldn't read who I was, so he didn't want to find out who
Right.
I was. And
Now you have been in the car and gotten flagged over with someone who was actually a honcho, right? I mean, there's no other way to say it. We're going to call them a honcho.
yes, he's
within
a
the
big
system,
wig. Yes.
right? And so when he got pulled over and he asked why he was getting pulled over, the person did kind of challenge him
Yes.
until he realized he was talking to someone who was an authority over him,
Right.
and the situation changed very
Yeah.
quickly.
Yes. It turned into, oh, sorry, sir, boss,
Yes.
please go.
Yes. So there is a little bit of this. You do
Yeah.
kind of want to stand your ground a little bit in
Right.
terms of knowing that you haven't done anything wrong. If you have done something wrong,
Be humble, very, very humble
Very,
about it.
very quickly.
Very humble.
Uh,
Yes. Yeah. Start out being humble.
yes. But if you've done nothing wrong and you think that what's about to happen is either just an inconvenience or profiling based on your vehicle, or if you look like a foreigner, or someone's looking for a bribe, it's okay to come off a little bit
Annoyed
assertive.
and assertive, yes.
Right. and see how far you can ride that and where that line is. I think that's very interesting, trying to navigate this different environment in terms of interacting with the police.
Right, but the last thing you want to do is challenge the authority, but just be assertive to it and
Right.
don't challenge it. But you don't want.
Stand up for what you know is the right thing.
Right, and
Oh, that's fair.
you'll know when to back down.
Yeah.
I think.
So, Tony, just to wrap this up, I'm curious from the comments. So please comment below and let me know.
Should I bring this lady pizza? Because I tell you, I'm getting really tired of driving out of my way to pass this
intersection. The first couple times you did, I was like, "Where are we going?" And you're like, "Oh no, we're going home." Why are you taking this? It's so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, should Tony bring this pizza? I think that's a good question to wrap up on.
Yeah. So let me know.
If you have not already.
I have an excuse if she, because there were a couple times I passed there and she wasn't there, and then there's that excuse I can use, and then I can say I didn't know what to put on your pizza.
Oh, that's a good one. Then.
So I'm ready for if she pulls me over again.
You're gonna get pulled over. You're gonna get stopped again.
Yeah.
Well, if you have not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that like button, and we will see you in the next video. Hopefully without any more
traffic infractions. So if you just see Io in the next video by herself, just know I should have paid that lady in pizza.
Should have got that pizza.
Hope you enjoyed this. Hey, Charlie out for now. See ya.
You might as well get stock in pizza. I feel like that lady's gonna have you bringing her pizzas every Friday. Like,
pizza time.
Pizza time. Where's my delivery boy? Ooh.